This is CBC Here and Now.
I can remember seeing, I can still just remember seeing it just vividly. It's pretty scary to see something like that flying at your face.
Not amused. A ride on the Tilt-A-Whirl goes off the rails.
Why a local amusement park is packing it in early. Good evening, I'm Debbie Cooper.
And I'm Anthony Germain. There are questions about safety at Thomas Amusements after several people were injured on a ride over the weekend.
It happened in Torbay on Sunday, and now the company has called off its final event of the year. Here and now, Zach Gowdy has the details.
Thomas Amusements was supposed to be setting up here at the Glacier in Mount Pearl for what would have been its final event of the 2018 season. Instead, today, that event was abruptly canceled after a scary incident at the carnival in Torbay on Sunday. It happened on the Tilt-A-Whirl, a classic ride with cars spinning around on a track. On Sunday, with a load of passengers aboard, one of the cars began breaking apart.
It was, I would have to say, at least this close to our face.
Janelle Kavanaugh was riding in the next car with her two daughters. She says a man and a girl fell out of the car that broke while her own daughter was nearly struck by a heavy piece of metal.
And then all of a sudden the piece was coming at us, and my daughter Michaela was screaming, and I had to grab her and kind of lean to the one side.
Police say some riders suffered minor injuries, but Kavanaugh says she was more upset that the other rides continue to operate.
They should have shut it down for the day or had that be it for the season and made sure that it was good enough for next year. But it seemed like the money aspect was more important than everybody's safety.
Kavanaugh says her family won't be going back.
I guess it's always a possibility, no matter where you go, that something could happen. But I mean, I put trust in places like this that they're going to have some aspect of safety for kids especially. And now I just don't have any trust for them. I don't have any trust for Thomas Amusements.
Today, the rides were all packed up. Instead of moving on to Mount Pearl, the rides will be placed in storage until next season. Service NL says it inspects the rides at the first setup of the year and does a surprise check at least once a summer. It says the Tilt-A-Whirl was inspected on May 31st and again at an unannounced visit on July 24th. But after this weekend, Service NL is investigating what went wrong. I did speak with Jared Thomas of Thomas Amusements. He declined to do an interview and said the company won't be making any statements, at least for now. Zach Gowdy, CBC News, Torbay.
Police and search and rescue crews were searching an area of Conception Bay this afternoon looking for a man reported missing last night. 64-year-old Melvin Hillier of Torbay was last seen wearing blue jeans, a t-shirt, and blue windbreaker. Hillier is described as 5'8", 170 pounds with green eyes, brown hair, and glasses. Today's search kicked off near Portugal Cove, St. Philip's around 2 o'clock. A ground search is underway while a small plane and helicopter are searching from above.
We have a ground search and rescue out. We also have the search and rescue out of JFRC, Comrade helicopter, and marine units in the water and in the area searching for this person. We'll weigh the odds of if we should keep searching past dark or not. It's all going to be dependent on the risk, the greatest risk.
Meanwhile, the family of a Mount Pearl man missing since mid-August says his body has been found. 60-year-old Gerald Anthony was last seen leaving the home that he shared with his sister. His body was found Friday in a wooded area of the city. A family member posted the update in a Facebook group that was dedicated to searching for Anthony. Police say his death is not believed to be suspicious. A Marine Atlantic ferry helped rescue a man and his dog from a sailboat in distress off the coast of Cape Breton this afternoon. The MV Highlanders was en route from North Sydney to Port aux Basques when it diverted to help the sailboat. It happened shortly after 1 o'clock. Raquel Nichols was aboard the Highlanders, and she says the ferry remained alongside the sailboat for a little over half an hour, at which point a helicopter intervened.
A rescue boat from the ferry went out, and then it was probably about 40 minutes later, the Coast Guard also showed up like a chopper and rescued people in the sailboat. Yep, it's interesting. It was interesting. It's rough out here today, so yeah, I can't imagine being in that sailboat, but everyone is safe, so that's what's important.
The RNC is appealing to the public to help identify the person responsible for breaking into a convenience store in CBS last month. It happened Friday, August 31st, just before 5 a.m. Police say this individual set off a burglar alarm at an orange store along CBS Highway. The suspect was wearing a black ball cap and a plaid jacket. They were not successful in stealing anything from the store, but got away before police arrived. Anyone with information is asked to contact Crime Stoppers.
It's just very, very emotional. As soon as they took the cover off, the unveiling, it was just, wow, it's finally happened. You know, she's finally going to be recognized, have her name on a wall.
Still ahead, Gander's newest monument and the stories beneath it. Justice Minister Andrew Parsons calls it the biggest public policy shift since Confederation. The province says it is ready for the legalization of marijuana. Cannabis becomes legal in Canada on October 17th. A website has been set up to inform people of their rights and responsibilities around the recreational and medical use of cannabis.
I think that this education campaign that we unveil today and we're launching today will hopefully help inform people so that they avoid police interactions. There's absolutely no need of it. I mean, right now, being intoxicated and behind the wheel on any substance, including cannabis or weed, is illegal. So we want people to stay away, but we'll continue working with our police forces and to ensure that public safety is paramount.
And you can see my full interview with Minister Andrew Parsons in about 25 minutes.
The body of the second missing fisherman off the coast of Prince Edward Island has been found. Maurice Getson's body was located in western PEI on the Northumberland Strait, about 45 kilometers from the site of the sinking. Getson is one of 2 fishermen who died when a fishing boat capsized on Tuesday. The body of the captain, Glenn DeRoche, was recovered on the weekend. One of the crew members was able to get to the shore after the sinking. He swam for almost 2 hours and then went to a local restaurant, and the workers there called 911.
Well, lots of sunshine on the menu for St. John's today and for most of the island. And guess what? More is on the way tomorrow. And we do have another system that'll be coming through on Wednesday night into Thursday, bringing some rain and another slight bump in temperatures. I'll have all those details coming up.
580 souls have been given a permanent memorial. The Gander Lions Club unveiled a monument yesterday in honor of those who are buried near a war grave. Here now's Garrett Barry has more.
She's finally got her name on a stone.
Yeah, finally got recognized.
72 years, buried in an unmarked grave. This weekend, finally, some recognition.
It felt amazing, you know, seeing her name there. We never expected it, you know, like probably maybe not in all the times we come here, never to see her name, and actually to have her name on it now, it felt great.
They've tried for years to find his sister.
She's going to be my guardian angel up there now.
She died at birth, buried by the Salvation Army when his family couldn't afford a funeral.
We would have put a marker on her grave, but we couldn't find it. Nobody had records of a baby girl that, you know, had died back then.
The Snows found this project just in time. Baby Snow was one of the last to be added to this list.
And today we got 2 more children's names, which will be added to the monument. And I'm sure after this coverage that we'll reach even more people outside there. And it's our goal as Lions to have every person at all possible to be added to that monument.
He says people came from across the country, from Europe and even New York.
I was born here in 1957, and I had a twin sister at birth, and unfortunately she died during the birth, and she was buried here in the cemetery.
His sister also in a humble grave.
It was not really marked, it had a wooden cross.
So to see this monument was something special.
For me, because she was my twin sister, it really, really means a lot to me. Just to be able to see it carved in granite just really makes it real, and I'm just really pleased at what work they've done with it. It's just absolutely amazing.
2 stories of the 580 engraved in stone. Garrett Barry, CBC News, Gander.
Well, Marble Mountain has found a way to save money during the upcoming ski season. It's going to start closing 1 day a week. The ski resort in Steady Brook on the west coast has announced that it's going to close every Tuesday. Increased operating costs and low weekday attendance are to blame. A review indicated that Tuesdays had the lowest attendance last year. Marble staff say closing the hill one day a week will have minimal impact on customers. Passes for this coming ski season go on sale on October the 1st.
It was gone for hundreds of years, and now it's back. So it's going to take hundreds of years to get rid of it again.
I'm Garrett Berry near the Canoe shop in the Mwapakek First Nation, where the traditional knowledge is alive and well. I'll bring you that story coming up on Here and Now.
Welcome back to Here Now. Well, the Merbuys are singing their siren song and hoping to lure the public into netting their newest charity calendar.
This year's version was launched in St. John's on Saturday.
The project raised $300,000 for Spirit Horse last year, but in 2019, the calendar's profits are now going to go towards Violence Prevention Newfoundland and Labrador.
That coalition is working to deconstruct masculinity and engage men in violence prevention, a cause the Merbuys says fits perfectly into their fishtails.
What this calendar is about is showing men and a broad spectrum of men who look and act and love in different ways, and showing them in very vulnerable ways. That men, it's perfectly acceptable for men to show emotion to one another, to other men, to the world around them, to show joy, to feel feelings, and to be just whimsical and have fun, which often men, we don't allow ourselves to. And so the calendar showcases a bunch of men doing exactly that.
What a great idea.
Yes, they're
$300,000 raised last year, and good on them.
Huge success, and they're incredibly brave.
Impossible not to smile, right?
Yeah.
No, it's true.
Yeah. Well, this was something for me personally that it was impossible not to smile about. I don't know if you remember this, but last week a young man named Michael Madalena sent me a tweet saying that he was inspired by my bee story and that he has autism and that he decided to paint a painting of my bees. And so earlier today he came by and I bought his painting.
Nice.
I am his first customer, and here's a shot of me and Micah earlier today. And yeah, just great. We had a little tour of the studio, and
good.
Yeah.
And now you're a patron of the arts.
I
It's
am.
great.
I am delighted.
Fantastic.
Absolutely delighted. Now, what a great day in St. John's today. Lots of sunshine to enjoy, and more sunshine tomorrow, but in Lab West, not so much. Our Jacob Barker posted this video today. It's on the drive on the Trans-Labrador Highway.
Well, it has to start sometime.
It does.
Sorry, Jacob.
Yeah.
Not very pretty up there.
Doesn't look like it's lasting, though, right? That just melted.
Oh, yeah, that won't stay, but
still, it's the principle.
It is, and there are some more snow showers in the forecast for tonight for Labrador, but it should be ending overnight.
it just seems that summer ended so abruptly.
Yeah,
it was fantastic,
That's
and then
it.
it was over.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it.
But we do have some really nice fall weather coming over the next couple of days.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so let's get started with this frost advisory. Yes, we have yet another frost advisory in place, and if you're wondering, we will still have these on the go until the end of September or so. Labrador, the frost advisories have ended for that area a little while ago, so yeah, we're still dealing with these frost advisories for the south coast, for much of the interior and the Baver Peninsula there overnight tonight. So you can see how clear it's going to be on the island overnight. A chance of maybe some flurries and some higher terrain on the west coast, and a chance of these little showers coming through across the island overnight tonight. But overall, it's going to be pretty clear with temperatures 3 degrees in St. John's overnight, -1 in Grand Falls, Windsor. For Labrador, getting down to -6 tonight in Lab City with a chance of flurries early on in the evening, but should be clearing off. So this is the story for tomorrow. We have some cloud cover moving in western Labrador in the morning, possibility of some showers there in the afternoon, and some snow on the way for the northern portion of Labrador. But for the island, nice and clear. Lots and lots of sunshine tomorrow. So it's going to be a really nice, crisp fall day on the island. Winds a little bit strong, northwesterlies 30, gusting to 50, but just looking fantastic otherwise. Temperatures around 8 or 9 degrees, 11 for Marystown there. As we head into central, very similar. The things start to clear off more, even more sunshine to enjoy there. 10 degrees in Corner Brook, 11 in Humber Valley. So yeah, tomorrow will be a nice day to get out for a walk and enjoy the day. Up along the Straits, very similar story there with lots of sunshine. As we head to the west and the rest of Labrador, a chance of some showers later on in the day for Labrador City, and then continuing into the night. So we do have another system that's going to be coming through Wednesday night into Thursday. It's going to bump up the temperatures just a little bit. I'll have more details on that a bit later. Debbie?
Thanks, Carolyn. Well, now to a story about reviving an old tradition. Along the walking trails of the Meowpukek First Nation lies the community's canoe shop, and that's where 3 men have been working to build a traditional canoe. It is a tradition that is back in the community after decades. Here now's Garrett Barry met with the men as they worked to find out more about the tradition.
Like building anything, you have to start with a foundation. Usually there's a chat about canoe, and we go into, okay, we're going to build this canoe. Then we talk about, okay, we got to gather roots, and we got to gather enough spruce gum. And finding bark is a difficult thing.
Well, Dad's been doing it for a long time, since I was a kid. And I've been doing it since for about like 10 years now. It's a nice, rewarding experience. You know, like, obviously you build something and people come around and appreciate it and stuff. That's always nice. But I mean, it's really nice too that it's just something that, you know that your ancestors done, right? Like, you know, hundreds of years ago, you know, your great-great-grandfather or great-great-great-grandfather, whoever, they were making these canoes, right? They were doing all this, and it's pretty neat.
What we're doing it now, we shaping up the birch to the frame and that, getting it ready to sew the birch bark to the gunnels. Using the hot water to soften the birch bark and shaper and sewing it together. And it's a wonderful process, the way I look at it. I love doing it.
Of course, no one knew how to build birch bark canoes in our community because they haven't been built there for a very long time. So they had a canoe builder from Quebec, a Mi'kmaq elder from Quebec, came and gave us the plans. It wasn't so much that he explained it, but you know, we did ask questions, but we just followed his lead as he built this canoe, and he explained to us along the way, more or less, how it was done. And of course, we couldn't wait to build our own canoes after that. You know, we do talk about what it must have been like, you know, to see the very first canoe built, or even what she looked like. You know, it takes us that long to build one with modern tools, and so it's amazing that they had this technology without those tools.
Wow, you can really see the pride there.
I was just going to say how satisfying it must be for the builders. You can tell.
Yeah, pride and craftsmanship, fantastic.
All right, guys, we're in Petty Harbor. It's a beautiful day. Food fisheries in full swing, and I got a full codfish here right out of the water. I'm going to show you how to fillet it.
Okay, maybe you don't want to kiss it, but it sure is tasty, and a lot of people certainly enjoy a meal of cod.
Up next, we'll head to the wharf where Chef Mark McCrow will let us in on some trade secrets for filleting fish the right way.
land and sea returns with a brand new season, beginning Sunday, October 14th. That's at noon on the island, 11:30 in most of Labrador.
Whether you stocked up during the summer or perhaps you're heading out for this week's fall food fishery, you've probably got some flaky white cod that needs to be cooked. Well, here's the first in a three-part series where local chef Mark McCrow shows you how to prepare the perfect fish dishes. First things first, you've got to know how to fillet.
All right, guys, we're in Petty Harbor. It's a beautiful day. Food fisheries in full swing, and I got a full codfish here right out of the water. I'm going to show you how to fillet it. So when you get a beautiful fresh fish like this, you need a sharp, flexible knife. So to take out the cod tongue, score on each side of the tongue, pull it up, get your finger underneath, and just slice it out. So the best part for me is the cod cheek, right behind the eye. Just sort of cut around, find that cheek meat, circle around with the knife, pull it up, and just slice it out. Then flip it over, same thing on the other side. So now to take the fillets off, you want to follow your knife right behind the fish collar, go right down to the very back, not to lose any meat, and just sort of put your knife in, follow down the backbone, try not to lose any meat, keep your knife on a little bit of an angle, then slowly start working that fillet off the backbone. Keep your knife nice and tight to the backbone. Pull the fillet away a bit and slice through with your knife. There we go, one beautiful fish fillet. So to take the skin off the fish, insert your knife just underneath the bottom and follow along that skin, keep your knife on a little bit of an angle. Hold the back of the skin with a towel and just slowly wiggle your knife back and forth. Don't be afraid of it until you get all that skin right off. Now just pin bones running down the center of the fillet. Put your knife out on each side and just sort of cut them away like a V and save all these little scraps for your fish stock. Now we separate the loin from the tail. All right, there you go, guys. That's how to fillet a cod. When you're done, you should have 2 nice cheeks, a tongue, 2 fresh loins, a couple tail pieces, and a couple belly pieces.
My co-host's stomach is rumbling, I can tell you.
I love cod, and it looked like a beautiful fish.
Yeah, certainly.
Done too.
The cheeks are kind of the ultimate, right? Yeah. Now, if you want to catch that again, you head to our website, cbc.ca/NL.
Now, in the next installment, Mark will show you how to make his ultimate fish and chips. Before getting creative with cod, Mark's talking tacos. Stay tuned for that later in the week. Well, on Friday, we showed you some firefighting training that the St. John's Regional Crews organized for politicians and decision makers. What we didn't show you was that our very own Jeremy Eaton took part in the training as well. Here's what happened when he was challenged to take part in that training.
No, not too afraid of that.
Yes. So the easiest way to go is lean back as far as you can?
Yeah.
Okay. Slack on.
Is there any one of these ropes I can hold? Or?
You can hold on either one of them. These ropes are going with you.
No, you don't have to hold anything you don't want to. You can hold your, yeah, let go. There you go.
And lean back as far as you can.
All right, lean back.
The farther you lean back, the easier the first step is.
Okay, I'm repelling, Dave. There we go, perfect. Yeah, lower weight.
Lower weight.
So what would you use this for? Like, when would this ever come in handy in your firefighting training?
Well, because we cover the East Coast Trail and all the window washers around St. John's, so, you know, we can rappel down and get them. And lower them, and bring them back up top, too. You can change over to a haul system.
Yeah. I'm a lot better at climbing down walls than I am at confined spaces.
All right.
No doubt it's going to be a challenge. It is an extremely new area, but I think we will be ready, and now we want to make sure that our people and our citizens are aware as well.
Less than a month until legalization.
More on the government's cannabis awareness campaign. That's coming up.
With less than a month before cannabis becomes legal, the provincial government is ramping up its public information efforts. The province has launched a website to answer questions that are frequently being asked, like how old do you have to be to buy weed, and can weed affect your brain? People are being encouraged to visit the government's new website to get more information. The province's point man on cannabis is Justice Minister Andrew Parsons, and we've reached him in his district via FaceTime. So, Minister Parsons, how prepared is government for October 17th?
I certainly think we're very prepared. I know we've put a significant amount of work in over the last couple of years, and when I compare ourselves to other provinces, I think we're ahead of the curve. And no doubt it's going to be a challenge. It is an extremely new area, but I think we will be ready. And now we want to make sure that our people and our citizens are aware as well.
Just one question, though, on supply. Are all 30 potential retailers going to be stocked, and is Canopy shipping in all the stock?
Well, again, that would better be suited to the NLC. They've been in charge on the retail side, making sure that storefronts are ready. I know they've been busy, and from what I haven't heard anything to indicate that storefronts and online will be ready come the 17th. They'll be stocked, and I haven't had any concerns expressed to me. So I've primarily been concerned with education, public awareness, and the safety side.
So as you said, it's been I guess, a stressful or very involved last couple of years because this is such a sea change. You've talked about the learning curve for government. What are you expecting after the 17th?
Well, what I can tell you is that for anybody to think that the 17th comes and that everything will be status quo, I think is not the case. I think we're extremely prepared, but I assume that there's going to be an evolution to this. We'll learn more as we go on. We'll obviously be keeping track of how everything goes from every angle. And we'll be working with everybody involved in this. So whether it's the storefronts on the retail side, when it comes to our education system, to see what we hear from them and from guidance counselors and teachers, as well as our police forces to see what else we can do and if there's any change that we need to do there. I think we've done everything we can to be ready for this. We would have been ready back in July, and we've had some extra time, which is never a bad thing. But I think this will be an evolution. When you talk about this is the biggest change in public policy shift we've had since Confederation, really.
And you say you're going to be ready. I'm just wondering, will police be given enough resources to handle the extra monitoring, especially if more people start trying weed?
I have no concerns about that. Again, the police in this country have been very clear to make sure that they're ready, and we've been listening to them, and I've been listening to our local police forces. We've had more training going on, more awareness going on, and I think that this education campaign that we unveil today and we're launching today will hopefully help inform people so that they avoid police interactions. There's absolutely no need of it. I mean, right now, being intoxicated and behind the wheel on any substance, including cannabis or weed, is illegal. So we want people to stay away, but we'll continue working with our police forces and to ensure that public safety is paramount.
And Minister Andrew Parsons, we're going to leave it there. We will super your website for people who want more information at this point, as the date is fast approaching. Thank you very much for joining us.
All right, thank you for your time.
And now to our special series, Waves of Change. Some Atlantic Canadians are taking efforts to reduce their own plastic waste to the next level. Whether it's turning to social media for advice or opening a package-free store, they are helping to build a growing zero-waste community. Emma Smith has the story.
Lots of stickers and lots of receipts.
This jar holds the Rovers' garbage for the last 2 weeks. The family of 5 is trying to live plastic-free. 4-year-old Lydia Rovers explains why.
Because the animals will eat it and they'll get really sick.
Jane Rovers and her husband, they started out small. First, they bought cloth diapers and committed to bringing reusable bags to the grocery store. From there, they swapped their plastic toothbrushes for bamboo ones and started buying shampoo and detergent in bulk. But Rovers says it isn't easy with 3 kids under the age of 9.
We're nearly 3 years in and still making changes and still learning a lot, you know, still finding things that we go, oh.
Rovers began posting her efforts on Instagram last year because she says it was hard to find information locally. It's the same reason Kate Pepler wanted to open a package-free store in Halifax.
I think we're in such a plastic epidemic right now. Everything comes in plastic.
She's stocking her store with items she already uses in her own home.
This is an organic cup, so it's a menstrual cup, so it replaces pads and tampons.
Pepler graduated from Dalhousie University with a degree in environmental sciences, sustainability, and marine biology in 2016.
For me, one of the most rewarding things about this has been seeing the ripple effect of the way that I'm living my life. My friends and my family have started noticing, and they start making changes as well. So I think that's where it has the biggest potential for impact.
The Tear Shop will open its doors at the corner of Cornwallis and Creighton later this year. Rovers says it's thanks to people like Pepler that it's getting easier to shop plastic-free. Still, she says people can't expect to go zero waste overnight. Her best advice? Start small and don't get discouraged.
I sometimes look at other people who live a zero waste lifestyle, and I think, well, it's easy for them, they live in a city, or it's easy for that person because they don't have children, or they're single, or whatever. But I'm here in Port Williams and mostly doing it, so I think it's possible.
Emma Smith, CBC News, Port Williams.
Well, plastics have long polluted our oceans. They entangle birds and turn up inside fish bellies. But a PhD student at Memorial University wants to solve the plastic problem by creating an alternative product, a bag that's as durable as what we have now, but also breaks down because of a secret ingredient. Here now is Peter Cowan, headed to the laboratory to learn more.
So we're looking at providing society an alternative to using the plastics that we use every day in our lifestyles. So if you think plastic bags when you go to the grocery store, but providing that convenience but without the adverse effects to the environment. So we're looking at making biorenewable plastics using carbon dioxide as a renewable C1 feedstock. So taking carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, incorporating it into a polymer that can break down in the environment at the end of its use.
How does the plastic that you've been able to create with carbon dioxide compare to the regular plastics that we're used to in our everyday lives?
Yeah, so the real challenge is basically trying to, at the chemical scale, get the same properties back. It's really being able to create thermoplastics that can withstand high temperatures. So if you think of using that for something like a coffee cup lid, you don't want the plastic to melt when you're taking a drink of your coffee, right? So that's really the uphill battle. So being able to take the polymers, the polycarbonates that we make, and modifying them post-reaction to kind of introduce new different properties and be able to kind of mimic the plastics that are out there now. It's now that we're seeing the adverse effects when everything starts to end up in our oceans. The real problem is when they start to break down and they become almost microplastics, fish start to eat them, and then they start to bioaccumulate in the ecosystems, and that's really where we're seeing it now. And it's sad because we almost learn from our mistakes in that sense. So I think when these plastics were produced years ago, we didn't necessarily think of the long-term effects on that end, and it sucks because in this sense now we're starting to see it. It's difficult as a researcher, right? And when you talk about anything like that, you think of what you're doing right now, but you also have to be thinking long-term. So that's where green chemistry kind of comes into play, and being able to, once we make this, how is it going to react in our environment, and how will it carry, in say, case of plastics, down the food chain and stuff like that. In some cases, we need plastics. If you think in hospitals, sterilization and stuff like that, things need to be one use. But necessarily with plastic bags at the grocery store, do we really need that to begin with, right? So I know in Australia, they just completely banned plastic bags in grocery stores altogether. And that almost forces people to look at their alternatives because it becomes a convenience thing at the same time. But I don't think people even realize that, you think, oh, I'm only one person. What does it matter? But if every single person, in the world made that extra 2 seconds to think about, do I really need this plastic bag in the first place, I would have a massive impact on the environment.
Up next, the story of a dramatic rescue at sea, the kind you see in the movies.
The hydro crews in the Ottawa-Gatineau area have managed to restore power to most of the area that was affected by Friday's twin tornadoes.
Hydro workers in both Ontario and Quebec are still working around the clock to try to get the lights back on in the remaining 4,000 homes and businesses still without power. At the height of the outage, hundreds of thousands were without electricity. In the community of Dunrobin, at least 53 homes have been deemed unlivable and must be torn down and rebuilt.
Well, firefighters and volunteers went door to door there today. They're on a mission to board up or tarp homes that are damaged but still livable. That's ahead of some rain that's expected tomorrow. And similar work is going on in Gatineau. Most of the 212 damaged buildings there have now been deemed safe, and some residents are being allowed to return to their homes.
Incredible damage.
It was quite something. I had some friends in the area, and they're fixing a lot of roof. There was a lot of roof damage. So you're seeing the major damage there, but there are a lot of places that had, still significant homeowner kind of problem damage. But nothing like that, and that's incredible. You don't think of Ottawa as being a place that would have that.
No, it does not happen there very often at all. And we're so lucky here at home that we don't often have to deal with tornadoes. Hurricanes, yes, sometimes, but yeah, that's some terrifying video for sure. So here, things are looking pretty good weather-wise. We're going to have a couple of nice days in a row, and then we're in for some rain and some warmer temperatures, actually. I'm going to start with a look at current temperatures in the province. 8 degrees in St. John's right now. About that temperature right around the island. 2 degrees in Labrador City right now. Cooling down, though, a chance of some flurries there overnight tonight. And we do have this frost advisory in place for the south coast and for much of the interior in the Bayvert Peninsula. So tonight we're looking at a chance of some flurries there for Lab West, but that should end overnight. Mostly clear on the island, but there are a chance of some showers at some point overnight tonight. And tomorrow we're looking at a really nice sunshiny day, a beautiful fall day, a little bit breezy with winds northwesterly 30 gusting to 50. Temperatures on the island between 8 degrees and 11 degrees. So not a bad day coming tomorrow. As we head to Labrador, lots of sunshine there as well, but looking at some afternoon showers for Lab City. So as we head into Tuesday night, into Wednesday morning, some showers there for Happy Valley, Goose Bay in the overnight hours, clear for the island, and then we get into some morning showers for Lab West and for the west coast of the island. So on Wednesday afternoon, we're looking at another day of sun and cloud in the east, 12 degrees as the high, a chance of some showers for central and 14 as the high there, and looking at some periods of rain for the west coast and 14 degrees as the high, and lots of rain in the morning for Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and in the afternoon for Lab West. And temperatures around 15 degrees in Happy Valley, Goose Bay in the east tomorrow, or rather on Wednesday. So as we head into Thursday, lots more showers on the way for the island, but temperatures are going to bump up a bit for pretty much everyone on the island, not so much for Labrador where you can see all these showers. Pretty much everyone's going to get a bit of that on Thursday afternoon, but could get up to 18 degrees in Central on Thursday afternoon, 17 for the east, so lots of rain to deal with there. It won't be super heavy rain, but it's still going to be pretty wet. For Labrador, a chance of some showers for the east and 13 degrees there, and sun and cloud for Lab West on Thursday afternoon, so 7 degrees as the high there. So you can see we're in for a few wet days in the east, but temperatures not too bad, 17, 14, 17, so I'll take that. Temperatures in the mid-teens this time of year. And for Central, there's that 18 degrees and a repeat of the 18 degrees there in the forecast for this Saturday, and some showers expected there. For Western Newfoundland, looking at some sunshine as you head into the weekend, and some showers on Saturday, 15 as the high. For Eastern Labrador, some showers there on Saturday as well, and temperatures around 12 degrees. And for Western Labrador, cooler than in other places, 9 degrees and cloudy skies as you head into the weekend, and a chance of showers there on Saturday and a high of just 6 degrees. And that's your forecast. Debbie, back to you.
Thanks, Carolyn. Well, our next story is about the kind of dramatic rescue you see in the movies. A starving teenager lost at sea far from his home in Indonesia for nearly 2 months. As you'll hear from CBC's Michael Serapio, the teen survived on his prayers and his wits.
Aldi Novel Adelang is back home with his parents in Indonesia today, lucky to be alive after an unexpected 49 days on the open seas. Adelang was working on a fishing trap called a rompong, looking like a houseboat. It is anything but, no motor, no engines, no paddle, but used to trap fish in the overnight hours off the coast of Indonesia. In mid-July, a strong windstorm snapped the ropes that anchored the fishing hut, and that set Adelang adrift in the Pacific Ocean. He spent many nights praying he would survive, eating what fish he could catch. One report saying he squeezed seawater from his t-shirt to stay alive. 10 times Adelang spotted commercial vessels, but none stopped to save him. But 3 weeks ago, just as he was losing hope that he would ever be rescued, Adelang spotted a merchant ship. He sent out an emergency signal on his handheld radio, and this time, he got a response. The ship threw a line to Adelang. He swam to safety, and he was taken to Osaka, Japan, where the Indonesian consulate helped him. He's now home just in time to celebrate his 19th birthday at the end of the month, but there are still lingering questions about Adelang's employer. That accident that set him adrift was the third time Adelang's fishing hut was separated from its mooring. Michael Serapio, CBC News.
Well, online crime is growing rapidly in Canada, so fast that the RCMP is struggling just to keep up. CBC News has obtained a briefing note that was prepared by the RCMP Commissioner, but if the Mounties push for new legislation to help them, they could be in for yet another battle with privacy advocates. Catherine Tunney reports.
When Brenda Lucky took the job as top Mountie, she was briefed on everything from how many boots are on the ground to the impacts of pot legalization. And in this briefing binder was a stern warning that as more crime moves online, the RCMP's technical capabilities are rapidly declining. Encryption, and that's the process of making data and text online unreadable, has made investigations harder for the RCMP. And the RCMP is also pushing for the ability to access more data online without a warrant. But not everyone thinks that that is a problem worth solving. Anne Kavukian is Ontario's former privacy commissioner, and she now heads up the Privacy Centre at Ryerson University.
If you're a law-abiding citizen, you get to decide how your information is used and to whom it's disclosed. The police have no right to access your personal information online unless, of course, they have a warrant.
A spokesperson for Public Safety Minister Ralph Goodale says the department is looking at ways to support police while also balancing online rights. Catherine Tunney, CBC News, Ottawa.
A man with a mental disability says door-to-door salespeople pressured him into signing contracts that he didn't understand, and he says it almost left him bankrupt. Now he's fighting back. Rosa Marcatelli from our Go Public unit has his story and why consumer advocates are raising the alarm.
John Telekamp's job is to clean up around a car dealership. He doesn't make a lot of money, yet the Toronto man, who has a mental disability, was paying out more than $700 a month for products he didn't understand and couldn't afford. Door-to-door salespeople sold the 69-year-old everything from HEPA filters to carbon offsets. In some cases, Telekamp bought the same product twice from different companies within months. Other contracts show he was paying 4, 5, or 6 times the retail value of a product.
This whole situation, yeah, they say that trouble, they say that you don't have to look for trouble, it comes to you. Well, it's found me.
Telekamp went to his boss, Brian Hoyt, for help. Hoyt tried, but he couldn't get the companies involved to cancel the contracts.
This is not about a company providing financing to help people buy, as an example, HEPA filters and water softeners. These are people who are actively engaged in the business of pushing people into things that they either don't want or need and convincing them to take them.
These are just some of the contracts John Telekamp signed. So many he'd lost track of what he was paying for. After Go Public contacted these companies, all but one released him from his obligations. Only 2 provinces, Alberta and Ontario, have banned unsolicited door-to-door sales in most heating, air, and water services. Those bans come too late for a lot of people, and they also do little to stop these kinds of door-to-door sales, according to this contract lawyer.
The new rules in Ontario put a $500 fine in place. Well, a $500 fine, that's simply a licensing fee. It's nothing else. You add $500 to the cost of the merchandise you're selling to this incompetent client.
Ontario's Minister of Government and Consumer Services responded to Go Public's specific specific questions with a general statement, saying the government understands the significant concerns consumers have over door-to-door sales and is committed to making sure that the appropriate protections are in place, and will be working with industry stakeholders and consumers as it determines next steps. As for John Telecap, he says he's learned his lesson. His family plans to put legal measures in place to ensure he can't be locked into new contracts without the approval of his sister. Rosa Marcatelli, CBC News, Calgary.
It's been more than a year since nurse Elizabeth Wetlaufer pleaded guilty to killing 8 of her patients and harming 6 others. Now, families of the victims had their say. They spoke today at Ontario's public inquiry into long-term care homes, and some of the strongest testimony came from the children of the victims.
I don't have my father anymore. I miss him. I really miss him a lot, every goddamn day.
I have constant anger and disgust with a facility and a government that the family trusted. This has left me saddened, full of guilt, knowing that I neglected to fight for my father as I felt I should have.
Beverly Bertram survived Wetlaufer's attempt on her life. Today, she said the system not only failed the victims, but Wetlaufer too. The inquiry is set to wrap up by the end of the week.
The sentencing of comedian Bill Cosby began today in a Pennsylvania courtroom. Now you'll see here Cosby and his legal team as they walked into court this morning. Over today and tomorrow, Cosby will find out if he is going to spend the rest of his life in prison. The man, once known as America's Dad, was the first celebrity to go on trial in the Me Too era. Dozens of women have accused him of abuse over several decades. Last April, he was found guilty of drugging and sexually assaulting Canadian Andrea Constant. That was in 2004. Prosecutors want him designated a violent sexual predator. The 81-year-old faces up to 30 years in prison.
Well, this is Election Day in New Brunswick. What was widely regarded as a two-way race a little more than a month ago appears to have turned into a much more open contest. Polls suggest smaller parties such as the Greens and the People's Alliance have been gaining support throughout the campaign, taking the focus away from the Liberals and Progressive Conservatives. The Liberals, led by Brian Gallant, are hoping to become the first incumbent government in New Brunswick to win a second consecutive term since 2003. The Tories are currently led by former Provincial Finance Minister Blaine Higgs. Jobs, the economy, and fiscal management have been the main issues in the campaign.
Here's today's viewer photo of the day. Isn't this beautiful?
South Coast?
West Coast? South Coast?
South Coast, very remote area of the province. I'm told that you can only get there by boat, but wouldn't you just love to ride in a boat down that bay?
No kidding.
I would indeed.
I'll tell you exactly where the shot was taken after the break. right, welcome back, everyone. So now to our viewer photo of the day, and Debbie, you were right. This is on the south coast of the island, a place I would love to explore by boat. This is Fasho Bay.
Okay. We're not sure if it's pronounced the French way or not. But who was the kind person who sent this in?
Sharon Fever.
She will have to get in touch with us.
I would love to know how it's pronounced down there.
Well, the French would be Fasho, but all of the names down there aren't pronounced the way like Francois and other spots. So let us know, Sharon, or let us know on Twitter as well. But it's gorgeous.
Great shot.
Absolutely beautiful. I've had the pleasure of being down the Pools Cove, Bay du Nord area. I'd like to go back to this place.
Oh, yeah.
Nice spot for kayaks in there. Gorgeous.
And if you have a photo, please send it along. Email it to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
That's our program. Thanks for being with us. See you tomorrow.
Good night.